All right, welcome to episode number 27 of Ask EJ. That's me. All right, question number 1. Let's do it.
Question 1 comes from Gideon out of Cedarville, Ohio. My recall is once a year, and my department requires 50 rounds every other month. How many rounds would you suggest, and how often should I be at the range with my EDC and my duty weapon? I dry fire almost every day.
Well, let me say this. You tend to see a lot of people equate proficiency with rounds fired, and that's not the case. There becomes a time where you know your own level of proficiency and comfortability, and that's good. Then when we go to the range, we start to push ourselves outside that comfort zone. So, maintaining some sense of balance between speed and accuracy is important, but we always want to be pushing the envelope. It doesn't matter if it's 50 or 500, quality over quantity, brother. So if your everyday carry gun is different than your duty gun, you gotta have as much time on one as you do the other, because at any given point either one could be used to save your life. So I would not put a box of 50 rounds as any semblance towards proficiency. So you got to know what you're training on, what you're going for, and then at what point you've reached that, so then you can start to change your goals and increase along the way. So that's what I would say. Got to know both. Got to know both. All right.
Cool. Next question comes from Eric out of Anchorage, Alaska.
Alaska.
He's got a twofer.
Oh, he got a twofer. All right.
So, number 1, I'm married with 4 kids. My wife and I have bug out bags in case of an emergency, natural disaster, etc.
Mm-hmm.
My question is, should I prepare bug out bags for my kids as well?
Yeah, little Janie and Johnny need their own stuff. So certainly, whatever you carry as far as, let's say it's food, just as an example. Now we're dividing that by, how many, you got 4 kids?
He just said kids.
Oh, okay. So,
or 4 kids. You're
4
right.
kids, okay. So 4, whatever food you had, whatever water you have in your bug out bag, now we're dividing it by 6. If little Janie and little Johnny have their own, they don't need yours quite as quickly. So yeah, I would say it doesn't need to have all the survival accoutrements that yours does, but definitely some type of sustainment that's more geared towards them, their little stuff, or they may be big, so at that point then they can carry more of survival stuff. But yeah, they definitely need their own little bag.
Part 2 of his question is, for some time I've always been told that I need a battle rifle, 308, 30-06, etc. in my collection. So I purchased the DD5 V1 from Daniel Defense a few months ago.
Oh, he spent some coin there.
Yeah.
All right.
And traded one of my ARs and my AK-47 for it.
Okay.
My question is, with 30 caliber ammunition being so expensive,
that it is,
do you think I should find an inexpensive bolt action rifle like the Ruger RPR and use the excess money to buy another Colt and cheap WASR?
All right, so you traded in an AR and an AK to get a 308 rifle. Oh. And then you found out that the ammo for the 308 is significantly more expensive. Hard lessons to learn. I would say you need an AR and an AK, and the rest of it, you know, you buy ammo with. And the AR AK would have some type of, you know, red dot on it that you could use, you know, should you find yourself using it for personal defense. Strictly survival speaking, certainly a 308 bolt action would be good for harvesting some type of animal to survive on. But that 308 that you bought is probably a lot heavier than you thought too, especially when you go putting glass on the top of it. That makes it even more expensive. So, I mean, it has its place. It's the context in what you're saying that I would say an AR and an AK would do you well. You have a lot of money left over to buy more ammo with, you know, after you got some semblance of a red dot. But you got a big, nice 308 right now, and that's great. So, I mean, it's kind of coulda, woulda, shoulda, and everyone has their main focus and opinions on what they believe ideal is and what they say as the reason they would bug out for. So see how that just creates the context for what you buy. You know, how do you envision the world ending in your mind? So then you prepare for that, right? Generally speaking, most people don't have a crystal ball that gives them, you know, a true perspective on what that situation or that natural disaster is going to be when it finally shows up on your door. So the AR and the AK platform give you a wide range of versatility versus going strictly specific. See, that bolt action rifle that you would get would be great if you only needed to load a couple of rounds. You had a lot of time to sit there and dial in on, say, an animal that you were going to harvest for food. That would be perfect. Certainly that DD308 that you've got will do the same, but because of the platform that it's running on, the AR type platform, it allows you to have that all the Gucci gear on it for a battle rifle. But now it's significantly heavier, and the magazines are not going to hold as nearly as many bullets as, say, the AK or the AR, so we lose a little bit on ammunition capacity. So you have to take really all that into account to see where that equation fits into what you're preparing for. So I'm not going to say you made a bad decision. I'm saying that if you look at weapons that are applicable in the widest variety of reasons to need to bug out type scenarios, or you know, your natural disasters, that your AKAR give you the widest versatility. But I mean, you can certainly run that 308 and that AR platform just as well. It's just going to be heavier, and per magazine you're going to carry less ammunition, and the ammunition is much more expensive. But if money's not a problem and your mobility consists of vehicle transportation, then the weight's not a problem either. So, I mean, it definitely works in certain scenarios and is less than ideal in others, but, you know, eat your Wheaties and win the lottery, you'll be fine. So, I mean, again, it's what you're preparing for, and then, you know, and then buy your equipment accordingly. All right.
Cool.
He got a good twofer.
He did.
That's because he's in Alaska. We're gonna let it slide.
Go Alaska. Question 3 comes from Isaac out of Villa Rica, Georgia. I am a truck driver and want to start carrying a firearm. What is your thought or inputs on carrying this with profession, considering I'll be crossing a lot of state lines?
That's a good question. So if you're going to carry it on your person to, say, go into the truck stop or a restaurant you're going to eat at, or a stop, you could probably get away with a get off me gun or something smaller, because the majority of your time is spent in the cab of that truck moving said products and produce and such equipment down the road. If you were worried or concerned, or just wanted to be prepared for getting carjacked, or in your case, truck jacked, you could look at something like a ram mount, where you could secure that in the vehicle, put the holster on it for whatever gun you get, and you can leave it such that it's accessible immediately. As far as the state lines are concerned, you probably could get away with having some type of lockbox where, if you go into the communist part of our country, you could put the gun, probably need to unload it, put the gun in that lockbox, and you'd probably be okay there. You'd have to understand what you're going to have to answer to when it comes to, say, like the New Jersey State Police want to check your logbook or something, and he asks you, do you have any weapons in the vehicle? But you can only do what you can do, buddy. So usually they'll say if the ammunition is not with the gun and the gun is locked up, then you should be okay. I mean, it's not that I agree with it, but when in Rome. So yeah, some type of lockbox. You probably could get one that could either secure underneath your seat or somewhere in the truck cab, where you could just unload it real quick, throw it in there, and then put an ammo, those cheap green ammo cans, throw your ammo in that, throw it somewhere, put a lock on it or something like that. That does suck, though, having to go between free America and communist America. I get it, buddy. It's about the best I could come up with, I mean, that's what I do. So you're always playing the roulette wheel when it comes to law enforcement in anti-gun states and you carrying a gun through their state. Now, you could sit down and do the research, but it doesn't mean that the cop knows the laws. And remember, you can be arrested for anything. Doesn't mean you're going to be convicted. So just know what can happen, and you're good. All right, is that 3?
That's 3.
All right, cool. Well, those are good questions, especially since Alaska got a 2-fer. Well, good. Don't forget to check us out on all these social media places, and be cool if you shared some of these videos. We get some more subscribers. That'd be awesome. Appreciate you guys writing us and sending questions. So my hippie says we're getting a lot more questions. I guess that's a good thing, right?
Yep.
Good. All right. For those of you who are Sheepdog Society members, we'll see you on the inside, where I answer a couple more questions and for you guys. If you're not a Sheepdog Society member, that description box has a link. It's like 33 cents a day, man. So Sheepdog Society members, we'll see you guys in just a second. For those of you out there on YouTube land, stay alert. I practice often. All right, sheepdogs, here we go.
All right.
How many questions are we going to do for them?
We'll give them 5 more questions.
Holy crap, you guys are getting 5 more questions. All right, see if I got it in me. All right.